Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we're trying something new. Today we're setting up a reading journal and I'm really excited. I've been wanting to do this for a little bit. I've mentioned here on some past videos that I was wondering about whether I should start a reading journal, and if so, how should I go about it? And I finally went for it. This beautiful notebook is from Lila Journals and it's the most beautiful notebook I have owned and I really wanted to use this like as soon as possible. I thought about using this as my 2025 notebook, but then I thought I usually use 2 notebooks for a year, so that would only leave me 6 months with this gorgeous notebook, and I wanted longer than that. And also I didn't want to wait until 2025 to start using it, and so I was like, you know what, it does look like a book. So what if it's just my reading journal? I do read, I guess I could say that I read more than your average person, but I'm not the kind of reader that's reading more than 100 books a year. So I'm pretty sure that this notebook, or this reading journal, should last me at the very least until the end of next year. So that still grants me more than a year where I get to use this. So yeah, I have set up a few spreads that I felt were necessary for me to kick off a reading journal, but I'm not entirely sure how I'll use this beyond that point. I haven't really made up my mind yet. If you have a reading journal, or if you've seen a lot of videos, or if you're contemplating on starting one, what would you recommend? I am thinking about not doing spreads for every single book. I know that there are people that do like 2-page spreads for the books that they read, where they just write down their thoughts, their rating, etc. I'm thinking that that might be excessive for every single book. I find that I don't really have a lot to say about some books. I feel like some books are just kind of there, I guess. Not every book is an exciting read, unfortunately. I was thinking about maybe just doing that for 5-star reads. And like, for example, if I start a series, to hold off until I finish the series to make the spread, I guess. Though it might also be interesting to do spreads for like the horrible reads on why they were so horrible. I don't know. Also, I've thought about maybe doing some kind of monthly spreads, just to like mark or register, I guess, the month that you're entering, if there's like any monthly TBR or any like monthly challenge that I might want to take part in. I don't know. I'm still kind of brainstorming about it and thinking about what I really want to do. And I'm also going to be watching all kinds of reading journal videos. So really, if you guys have any suggestions, any feedback on what you have done, I would thoroughly appreciate it. Just let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. So yeah, as far as the theme goes, I wanted cozy vibes, mostly homely cozy vibes. I do read in commutes. I have 1 hour, well, actually 1 hour 20, I guess you'd say, to work, and then same time back home. So I actually can read for most of that, and sometimes I do. But my all-time favorite reading space is home. There's nothing like entering the colder seasons and there's rain outside and you're just snuggling up in your warm bed with a book and like a cup of tea or something. It's the best feeling. And I kind of wanted to I wanted to capture like cozy home feeling into the theme and also kind of match the vibe of the notebook itself. The notebook is very whimsical, so that kind of translated into a little bit of a cottage core home decor. You have like the cute little basket in this page that I'm working on, which it's kind of like a picnic basket, but instead of food it has books. And some flowers, and then you have, well, the first actual page, which is kind of, I don't know if you consider that, I don't think that's a Dutch door. I think it's just like a window of things, but the page that has a cutout in it, it's not finished at this point that you're watching, and you will get what I mean with the homely, cozy vibes. I've actually made up my mind that I am going to maintain this theme throughout the entire um, reading journal, regardless of whether I just do like a yearly spread or monthly spreads or whatever. This notebook might end up lasting me for more than just 2025. It might last me for longer. I don't know. I don't know how much I'm going to read. But however long this lasts me, I want to kind of do the same theme. You'll notice that throughout the spreads that I make, I do different illustrations, but kind of within the same theme, and that's kind of what I want to do in the future. That way I'm not just tracking my reading, but however long this lasts me, I'll also be kind of keeping track of my drawing skills within the same theme. So I thought that that would be a cool thing to add into this. And now it's coming to life. So basically it's like a wall with cute cozy wallpaper with the frame, and the basket is in the frame. I thought that that would be really cute. There's something about doing a gingham pattern in like a beige tone. The gingham is like the easiest pattern to make of all time, and it just brings things to life. I don't know what the magic is here, the sorcery, but it just looks so pretty. Look at that. It is so easy to do gingham. Seriously, you just do stripes. Highly recommend. If there is any space in a notebook that you ever want to fill out and you don't know what to do, you just don't want it to leave it blank, add gingham. It solves everything. Moving on to my first actual spread, I wanted to do 2 challenges. And these are not timed in any way. I do not have any end date. I don't have any deadline. I don't have an expectation of when to finish this by. There are 2 main types of books that well, no, that's actually not right. Backstory. I studied literature in college, mostly English and North American, so I do love me a good classic. I like going into that academia brain mode of reading classic books that are filled with symbology and motives and just activating the analysis and just analyzing the whole thing. There's something about reading classics that your brain just works in ways that it doesn't with other books. I don't really know how to explain this in other ways. If you've studied literature, I guess you know what I mean. So I do really like to dip into that mode every now and then. However, I don't usually read classics for fun. Like, if I want a fun read, I don't grab a classic, if you know what I mean. I usually grab classics when I feel like that urge to learn something or to study something. I do actually rather love studying. And then my fun reads, I'm a fantasy gal. I really, really like fantasy. And recently, actually, I've discovered that I also really like romantic, how do you call it? Contemporary romantic? Contemporary? I think it's contemporary that you call it. The romantic books, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's so new to me that I don't actually know what you should call the genre. But yeah, I like romance novels now. So that's interesting. But I do really like fantasy, and there are a lot of... I feel like romance is really bleeding into fantasy novels right now in series. But there are a lot of books within that genre, well, predominantly series actually, because they're mostly series. There are very little standalones within the romantasy kind of vibe. But there are a lot of them that I would like to get through at some point. And like I said, most of them are series. So it's not that I'm not excited to read them, and it's not like I do not spend my money buying them. Trust me, I spend a bit too much money on fantasy books. But since most of them are series, once you start one, it kind of gets you... it takes you a little bit to go through the entire thing. So I have a little list of both classics and series, predominantly, within romantasy that I would like to get through at some point. No pressure, because like I said, recently I found out about contemporary romance books, and those are now fun. And I also try to read a good amount of nonfiction. I have books on just like personal development, dealing with your ego, understanding glucose, things like that. I find that I also really love those kinds of books, and so I should probably make a challenge for myself for those. Now that I think about it, we'll consider that for a future update. But these are kind of just the ones that I want to make sure that I read at some point. These are not necessarily the spontaneous book buying situations. These will be more of intentional reads, I guess you could say. And I know that I tend to procrastinate, and I know that I might think about, I want to read a certain amount of classics this year, and then I will see pretty covers, and then I will see enemies turn to lovers, and I will buy books and read them immediately. Or just buy a lot of books and then just add them to the enormous TBR pile. Readers will understand. But I know that if I have things written down in a challenge way, I know that I will want to fill in these boxes. So I know that I'm way more likely to go through these books if I have this written down here. And so the idea is just to make some slow and steady progress on these two lists throughout time. So that's kind of the vibe. Continuing with the theme, again, another little cute frame. There will still be gingham in the back. And continuing with the cozy vibes. I thought about switching the color palette a little bit for the gingham, but I didn't want the background to be too busy. I just wanted it to be very, not necessarily seamless. I wanted it to be very pleasant to the eye, like kind of very peaceful looking, cozy, I guess. And so that's what I'm doing. As for the rest of the setup, you will see that up next I'm going to be doing cover for 2024. I did want to have something to kind of represent 2024, and just so that when I open the notebook, let's say in the future, looking back on what I was doing with the notebook, I want to know where I was at. And I do want to kind of have mentions to the reading challenge and the reading goals that I have for 2024. At the beginning of the year, I said that finally this year is the year that I want to read 50 books. I've been saying that for ages, and I've never actually accomplished it. I am reading quite more than I did last year, so I'm very happy with that. Last year I only got through 15 books, and this year I'm already in 25. I'm still way behind on my schedule on my reading. Goodreads tells me that I'm like 14 books behind schedule, which is sad. I'm still reading way more though, and I'm really happy with that. And I found a whole new genre that I really like. So that is good. So I guess we're celebrating the small victories. Still want to push myself to finish more books. If I get to 40, not gonna lie, I'll be kind of sad that I didn't get to 50, but I'll still be very happy. 40 is a really good number for someone that works full time. And then after my full time work, I also do I also do videos for YouTube, and I live alone, so I have to manage like upkeeping an apartment by myself. I guess that is pretty good. So, we gotta be realistic sometimes. It's not gonna be realistic for everyone to read 100 plus books a year. I don't think, unless I was like on some kind of sick leave where I literally cannot do anything else. I don't think that I would be able to just read that much. I don't know. Also, there are a lot of people that read via audiobooks. Please tell me if I'm the only one. I do not do well with audiobooks. I will lose track of what was going on so quickly. I've tried it, and I don't know what happens. Literally, I will find myself halfway through the audiobook, and I'm like, what just happened? I got distracted by something, and I didn't hear a thing. I was hearing it, better said. I was hearing the audiobook, but I didn't listen to the audiobook. So audiobooks are not an option for me. I would love to be the kind of person that is like on a readathon. I love readathon videos on YouTube, by the way. And they can just put on an audiobook and go drive somewhere or be doing other things throughout the house. Like, I need to be physically with my face in a book. I don't know if that's an ADHD kind of thing or what is that, but I can't. please let me know if you understand my struggle with audiobooks or if you love them. Please let me know. Going in with the cover for 2024, like I was saying, same vibes, same cute, cozy vibes, but just a different illustration. I struggle so much with the 2024 numbers on the page. I know for a fact that I've seen 2024 or like any year whatsoever written like this, so like the 2 and then the O underneath the 2 and then the 2 and the 4 next to it. But I was having such a hard time. I was like, I feel like people are gonna read this as like 2204 because not gonna lie, I did read this as 2204 for a little bit there and I was confused. Please know it's 2024. But going in with this spread for the cover, just to mark down 2024, and then on the next page we have my reading challenge. You can see I have 50 boxes for hopefully 50 books. Or did I do 60? Now I can't remember and I cannot see it on screen. I think no, it was Heroes 50, and then I have another page where I can write down the names of the books. That was where I left more space. Hopeful thinking me is like, just in case I happen to actually go overboard, going above and beyond, let's leave some space there. Not sure if that's gonna happen, buddy, but yeah. We're staying hopeful. I still have to do a readathon. I've been saying for months that I want to do one, and then life gets in the way, and I absolutely have to do one before the year ends. I will not be happy with myself if I don't do a readathon before 2024 is over. Let me know, would you guys enjoy a reading vlog? Would that be something that you guys would like to see? I know that I personally really like watching reading vlogs as well as reading journal setups. Would you like a reading vlog? And by the way, would you like a reading journal setup and reading vlog in the same video or separate? My feeling is separate. I like the two separate things because some people like reading vlogs and some people like reading journal setups because it kind of falls more within like the bullet journaling side of things. Let me know. I've been thinking about doing it. I feel like if I vlog the process, I'll be way more likely to actually go through a readathon because I'll have something to kind of hold me accountable, I guess, or I'll have another stronger reason to be doing that. And I guess it makes me feel a little bit less like I'm just being lazy and reading for an entire day. Let me know. I'm thoroughly interested in knowing what you guys think because yeah, sure, the reading journal setup kind of system and situation does kind of bleed into the bullet journaling community because it is a style of bullet journal, but I don't know how everyone would feel about the actual reading content within the channel. At the end of the day, I know it is my channel and I can do whatever I want, but I'm still really interested to know like other people's opinions and what you guys would enjoy, honestly, because it's fun to make the videos and I definitely want to try and do something like that at some point, but I still want to know what you guys think. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Maybe I'm rambling, I don't know. But with this cover, I just kind of wanted to do different little frames within the same illustration and just some simple with the gingham. I'm actually kind of sad with the color choices that I had for this, but you know, I guess it turned out a little bit experimental. I wish I'd done some of the gingham with the normal beige, but we're just experimenting, and it's fine to experiment, and it's fine to look back on things and say, well, that could have been done differently. It's fine. Going in with a little bit of a drop shadow on the boxes. If you do not add a light gray drop shadow onto your drawings and onto like the bullet journaling boxes that you have, please do. It adds such a nice pop. It looks like it's kind of jumping out of the page, and it's so beautiful. It really is. Gingham here because I needed the gingham. I think I have a problem with gingham. I think I'm low-key addicted to it. Going in with a page where I can actually write down the names of the books. I do keep track of everything on my Goodreads app, but I still enjoy a good visual list of everything that I read. And then on the side there, we have my pages read in a year. I have this in my 2024 for setup, and I am going to migrate that data onto here as well. That way I have it here. And I also, pro tip, if you don't, go to your bullet journal every single day, because a lot of times I don't, and I should. I keep track of the pages that I read on my just notes app, and then I put it onto the bullet journal. Because I'm weird, and I like to keep track of not just how many pages I read, but like on average, how many pages did I read in a month. I am trying to go for 2,000 pages read in the month of October. I think I'm falling behind, but I'm still trying. And yeah, I really like to see what the average of pages is per day, because if you can get the average of pages read high enough, that allows you to read a good amount of books within a month. And I'm weird like that. I just like statistics. But yeah, this is a spread that I really, really like, and I am just thinking about whether to do any kind of monthly spread. I'm not going to do any monthly spreads for October at this point because the month is ending. I'm thinking about whether to do maybe like just a end of 2024, like until 2024 ends kind of prompt or something, or like a TBR for the end of 2024, or books to read until 2024 ends, something along those lines, and just tracking down those books. I'm not still super sure. Again, please let me know what you guys do with your own process. I definitely need some inspo, and I definitely need to just figure out what I want to do. But I'm really excited about getting into this journal. I feel like this will actually make me want to grab books a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie, since I've set this up, I've read a little bit more. I'm just excited to jump in and keep track of everything. I'm really excited about that. It's gonna be fun. At least I think it is. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. It turned out really pretty. And I kind of experimented a little bit with that theme. I made some choices color-wise that I wouldn't have done in other spreads. And usually I over practice and overdraft everything. And this time I kind of took some risks. So I'm happy with that. Let's go in with final flip through. I'm so happy that I finally did this. This cover is some of my best work. Though I'm so happy with how it turned out. It looks so, like, peaceful. And I think you guys just heard my cat. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm really excited to just jump into this and start some spreads. Thank you for watching. Bye!